and she's coming around, and I'm just still sitting there for a second, and then I'm starting to like, I'm like, oh. Hey, it is your girl Mocha, aka Mocha the Model, and I don't have an intro. I just need to get this off my chest. So, as you guys can see by the title of this video, this is about the time that I had to fight my friend. I have a couple of disclaimers before I get the story time started. First disclaimer, I do not condone fighting, but I do condone defending yourself. So I'll just say that. Second disclaimer, I think I told this story time maybe on like Instagram or TikTok before, and the girl that this story is about reached out to me and just was kind of like, why'd I make a video about it, and you know, mom talking about it, X, Y, and Z. And like I told her back then, I just kind of feel like the story, I'm involved in the story, I was the one traumatized, like I'm not seeing like why I can't tell the story. And she understood that, honestly. She was cool about it, and she didn't really make a big deal about it after I kind of explained it. Like, you know, most people would be like still trying to, you know, still trying to beef with you about it, but she was just kind of like, oh, like, I mean, yeah, you kind of got a point. So just to reiterate the whole thing, if she sees this video, there's no ill will, there's no animosity, I'm not using your name, and yeah. So with that being said, let's get straight into the video. So I'll just start with how me and this girl met. First of all, I gotta give her a name. We're just gonna call her Gemini. So me and Gemini worked at the same job, and so at the job that I worked at, you could basically be off work for like 2 months, and as long as I think you worked maybe like once out of those 2 months, I think once every 2 months, you were still able to keep your job. And so I had took like 2 months off of work. My boss, he kind of liked me, and not liked me in the way of like had a crush on me or nothing like that, nothing weird like that. It was more so that my work ethic, I think I had made top sales in the store that year. I worked from like 11 to 2. I would get there, have my regulars, make my tips, and go. So he gave me a little freedom because he didn't have to worry about like me doing my job. If I was gonna work, I did my job. I did my job good, and I did what he asked me to do. So I took like 2 months off of work, and I had just got back from my 2-month like little break or vacation, and Gemini was already hired there. So we didn't talk initially when she got hired there. She would hang around this particular regular that was kind of like he was like a store regular. Like, you know how kind of at places you have your own, certain girls have their own particular regulars, and how do I put it, certain girls have their own particular regulars, and then there's store regulars. Like, they always come in there, they're always going to come in there, they're always going to have drinks, they're always going to kick it, chill, whatever, come on their lunch breaks. Gemini would kick it around this particular regular, and I didn't really come around him like that. There was no particular reason at the moment why I didn't come around him like that, mostly because he would come and sit and have food or drinks or whatever with these two particular girls that I'm friends with, two of my friends basically. And so it was like when he would come in, I would automatically, if I'm at the door and I saw him, I'd automatically like go seat him, and then I would go to the back and get either one of my homegirls, because I know that he's there for them, or that, I don't know how to put it, I know that like that's their, he's a store regular, but that's like their regular. So, and I was never stepping on people's toes and taking their regulars and stuff, so I just really didn't talk to him like that, didn't care to. I was kind of doing my own thing. At the time, yeah, I was just really about my money. I had school too around the time, so I was in college, I was working there, and I was working at a baseball park. So it would be like I would get there, work from like 11 to 2, make my money from my regulars, leave and go to the ballpark and make my money there and go home. So I wasn't too interested in, you know, I kind of kept to myself. I was friends with girls there, and I'm friends with some of the girls there to this day, but I really kept to myself for the most part. So with all that being said, I really didn't like talk to Gemini when she first started working there. I'm trying to think of what like was the first. Oh, I know. So the first time that I really just talked to Gemini or had conversation with her, I won't say the first time. after a while in passing, it'd be like, oh, hey girl, you know, whatever. Wouldn't really just chat with her like that, but it's like, oh, hey, yeah, what's up, girl, da da da, going about my business. The first time we actually just really had conversation, there's this girl that we work with that we're gonna call User. Yeah, we're just gonna call her User. So User, I'm just be real honest, I'm not a big fan of User. Never really liked her. I won't say I never really liked her. You know how there's those people that it's like you can't put it's like you can't put your finger on it. You don't really have a reason to be like, oh, it's something off about her, but you just have this feeling like something is off about her. User was one of those people. Like, she came off very like, oh, you know, nice and sweet girl, just, I don't know, but she came off too nice to the point where it was just like, I don't know, something off about you. And I was correct, by the way, but it was just like, I always felt like there was just something off about her. I was nice to her, but So I gave her the name User because she was just the type of person. At the time when we worked there, she didn't have a car, which is nothing wrong with not having a car, but she didn't have a car, and she had this bummy boyfriend who didn't have a car. And it was almost like, to me, like she would scheme and do stuff. I don't know how to put it. Like, I'm like, is he your pimp? The boyfriend. Like, it's almost like, is he your boyfriend or your pimp? Like, she would scheme and do stuff and whatever to like do for her and him, or like benefit both of them. I don't know, it was just a weird dynamic. He was very broke bummy user, but broke bummy user type of dude. So and so was she. I won't call her broke, but she was a user. So so yeah, so user will always like solicit people for rides. Like, she was always asking other coworkers and stuff for a ride, and it got to a point where it was a thing that was like, they give her a ride once, and then now next time she's asking for a ride from them, they give her a ride twice, and then it just starts to be like a snowball effect of like them. It starts to be like a snowball effect of like her asking people for rides, and now she needs you to drive her around everywhere, and you become her chauffeur type of thing. From jump, she never asked me for a ride, and I don't think I gave the energy that I was willing to give the ride. And not to sound like if I'm mean or whatever, but I'm not gonna involve myself in that, girl. Like, I'm not gonna chauffeur you around and be your ride. So I'm pretty sure she probably got Gemini in that way with the ride thing, because Gemini was actually a very nice girl. I'm gonna just skip into when me and Gemini first like actually had a conversation. So User and Gemini went out to this club in our city. Gemini drove, of course. And so apparently the story is they go out to the club. So Gemini and User were hanging out with these Mexican dudes. They were drinking at the club, doing whatever, kicking it. Gemini gets extremely drunk, and User leaves her at the club, in the club, basically like passed out with those guys, and calls an Uber and goes to her boyfriend, or goes with him. Mind you, how do you leave the person who drove you there in the club drunk, passed out? Even if the girl didn't drive you there, how do you leave her in the club passed out? Like, that's where we're getting with the whole User thing. 'Cause like, why would you do somebody like that? So it ended up being like the Mexican dudes. Luckily, the dudes they were with seemed like okay dudes, or you know, not bad guys, because some type of way they were able to get Gemini's phone unlocked, or maybe she was able to get it unlocked, and they call her mom, and her mom was able to come up there and get her, or I don't know if her mom was able to come up there and get her, if her mom, some type of way they got her out the club. So I think her mom came up there with people. They got her keys and they got her, you know. And from what I remember, I want to say she left her purse, or she left something with those guys. They did make sure she got it back, and that's why I say, like, thank God that she was with some decent guys, or it could have been just like an extremely fatal or horrible situation, and User didn't have a care in the world. Matter of fact, boom, fast forward again, we come back to work, and User has the audacity she's talking to me and another one of our co-workers, and she's just like, Gemini is mad at me because da da da. She's trying to tell the story. Like, you know when somebody's trying to tell you a story to get ahead of a situation? She's like telling the story like, Gemini is mad at me for this reason, da 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 da. And And even when she's telling me, I'm kind of just listening, like, I don't know, like, it sounds like you were kind of fucked up, like you kind of did her dirty. And I'm telling her, like, I don't know, like, that story, that's not really adding up. And we end up hearing the story from Gemini, and then that's the story that I just kind of told you guys. And that kind of, like, at that point I was just like, oh, I always knew that I was right about User, but I'm like, oh yeah, completely off of you. Like, that's so messed up. How do you leave somebody, especially the person that drove you there, in the club passed out, and then you come to work and try to play victim? Like, I was good off her. I was like, oh yeah, I'm off you. I was never on you, but I'm definitely off you now, you know? And so it was like me talking to Gemini. That was our first time really talking and chatting and whatever. And then boom, once again, fast forward, we started to be really close. Me and Gemini, we were kicking it all the time, going out to eat together, going to bars together. Like, I would go out on her family's like farm area and do trail rides and ride four-wheelers, drink and kick it, eat with her and her family and everything. Like, we started getting really close really quick. And like I said, I worked at the ballpark, so like this is over the summer where we're just kind of kicking it. She'll come see me at the ballpark at work. I would get off, we'll eat, drink, watch the rest of the games, go out. At that time I was dating one of the baseball players, and so like she would kick it with me and him, or come over, kick it with us. Like, it was just cool, you know? So we had got really close, we got really cool. Fast forward again, I feel like I don't want to stay too much into all of that, so we're just gonna fast forward into the whole altercation situation. So at this point in the story, something happens with Gemini and her mom. I'm not gonna get too much into it, because I'm not really trying to tell your business. I'm just here to tell my story about how I got forced into having to put hands on you, you know. So I'm not here to shame or tell anybody's situation in that way. So around this time, she got kicked out. Her mom kicked her out, and I was like, well, you can come stay with me. And so she came, she was staying with me. We were sleeping in the same bed. Just, I don't know, at this point she was my friend, and I'm just, you know, we were friends. So she came to stay with me, and it was just this one night where it was the closing of a bar in our city that everybody liked to go to. And I don't know, it was probably a weekend, we just going out. So she used to drive everywhere. Disclaimer, I am not the driving friend. I would call an Uber so quick to take me where I need to go. If you tell me, like, I'm not gonna force you to drive me anywhere. Mind you, I have a car, I drive, but I hate driving. So for me, I'm like, if you invite me somewhere and you're like, you don't want to pick me up, I'm a Uber there. Especially if we're drinking, I'm a Uber there. I'm not driving there. I'm not one of the people that's like can get drunk, have a good time, and be the DD, or be the, not even DD, because DDs aren't drinking, but I can't be that person that drinks and then decides to be the driver for everybody or drive myself back. I know my limits, I know how I operate. So I'm like, well, shoot, if you're not driving me, I gotta get an Uber. But mind you, at this point, she's living with me, so her car is there. We're leaving from the same place. So we go out. Ooh, voice shaking. So we decide to go out, and we kind of bar hop. We stop at a couple bars. Everything is good so far. We get to the bar that is having like its closing night. Get there, everything's cool. We get drinks, we're having a good time. I see this dude that that's a whole nother story. I see this dude that I just don't mess with whatsoever. And he's with this girl that, I don't know how to explain her. He's with this girl that she's a friend of a friend. So she's one of my other homegirls' friends, and I just kind of know her through that homegirl and whatever. And so she's talking to me and stuff. Long story short, my mood gets kind of cute talking to her, because he did some weird stuff to me, and nothing like we dated or anything. Like, he did some creep stuff. He did some creep stuff to me. He did some weird stuff to me, and she had came up to me and was like, oh, so-and-so, he told me, what happened between you guys. And I'm immediately just kind of like, told you what happened between us, because there's no us, we're not a thing. Like, your dude's a creep, he's a weirdo. And it just was weird to me how he manipulated that situation. He probably tried to get ahead of it by saying something to her because he thought probably I would say something, which, like, why would I go spread my own business? Or really, I don't like you, I think you're a creep, I think you're a weirdo. I am not about to go around and tell people about the situation or try to tell her so she'll not talk to you. That's her business. So that whole situation kind of threw me off. So it didn't kill my vibe to where I wanted to leave or I was angry, but like I wasn't really dancing or nothing like that. I was just drinking, kind of standing back, kicking it. My homegirl Gemini, she was dancing and everything, having a good time. I'm just kind of like hyping her up, watching her, you know. And she's dancing with this dude at one point, and I see they're dancing, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, just watching her, hyping her up, whatever. They dancing and everything. And then at one point, I'm kind of just looking at his like body language, his demeanor, his facial expressions, and it's like he's trying to get away from her. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna step in and kind of just like redirect her, because I'm not gonna, as your friend, I'm not gonna let you be embarrassed. Like, I'm seeing how he's acting, and I'm seeing like, oh, he low-key doesn't want to, like, he's done dancing with you. He really, like, he wants you to back off, basically. And so, and I'm not gonna be the friend to sit there and let you not look stupid, but like, I'm not about to let you just, you know, embarrass yourself. So I kind of like redirect her, whatever, you know. Night goes on, we're having a good time, drinking, whatever. Then we run into this girl. What could I call her? We run into this girl that I'm cool with. We're gonna call her Fish, and not like fish in a bad way, like that the negative, no negative connotation, more so just like, it's the reason I'm calling her Fish. And more so like the, like how the gay dudes be like, oh, like fishy, oh, she's fish, da 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 da, you know. She's a really pretty girl, like more like that, in another reason. But the other reason might give, if I tell the other reason, it might give away who she is. So anyway, we run into this girl named Fish, and I'm pretty cool with Fish. We started being cool from college and everything. And Fish is with this other girl that we're gonna call Cuckoo. I want to say Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but yeah, that's Cuckoo. She's Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for short. We're gonna call her Cuckoo. So she's with this girl that I'm gonna call Cuckoo. Cuckoo does not like me. She doesn't like me whatsoever. I don't even really know the reason why she doesn't like me. All I can really say is there was this dude back in college that I was talking to. Mind you, I was talking to the dude first, and just, I wouldn't even say talking to, like, this situation, I can't even say situationship, just like casual talking to, if y'all know what I'm trying to say. Like, this, it was very casual. And but I was casual with him first, well, let's just say that. And it was like one time, oh, how did it go? Was he dropping me off? No, I think I was going into the student center, and she was in there with him, and she had gave him a swipe, or gave him whatever. If you've been to college, you know, a swipe in whatever your student center is to get like Chick-fil-A or whatever you're gonna eat. So she had given him a swipe or whatever so he could eat, and I was just looking for him because we had plans. If y'all already, we had plans. And so I'm looking for him, whatever, and I'm like, oh, I see he's in there, and I'm like, oh, okay, da da da. I'll talk to him, like, you know, let me know about our plans. I see I see them, I won't say I see them together, but it's clear, like, I see how she's looking at me, I see the situation, I see that, how do I put it? I see the situation, and I'm kind of like, oh, okay, like, maybe they have a casual situation as well, if y'all know what I mean. I don't know. It's not my business. He's not my man. I really didn't care like that. And so so I was just like, oh, you know, whenever you're done eating, da, 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 da. And I go about my business, and me and him do meet up, and we're kicking it, whatever. So I checked it up to maybe it could be that, like, why she doesn't like me. I don't know, that's really stupid to me. I don't beef with people over guys in that way. Like, it's silly to me. So I don't know if it's that. Another thing could be that her baby daddy was a dude that I later found out people were making up. He was like a big party promoter. Like, he was in a fraternity. He's a big party promoter. He's we're gonna say a popular dude on campus. And he liked me. He tried with me. I wasn't feeling it. It was not, I was like, yeah, nothing ever happened between us. But I found out later, as time went on, that there was a rumor that me and him had something. And I don't know if it was because of like the special you know, special treatment that he would give me, or like around campus, around or party situations, or always inviting me to stuff and always making sure I'm at stuff and da da da. It's college. Like, I'm not finna say no to come into, you know, the exclusive stuff or the fun stuff or whatever. He didn't take me telling him no very butthurt. He didn't take it in a bad way. So we were cool. We were okay. But I find out years later, there was this big rumor that me and him had a thing or slept together and all that, which is false, complete rumor. So, you know, I'm thinking maybe it could have been that. Mind you, she took him from another girl that I'm cool with. Like, it's all a long, confusing story. But that cuckoo took the dude from another girl I'm cool with. So it's like, it wasn't even like it was like you had right, like, this is your man and she's cuckoo. Do you see why the name, the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? She's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So, boom, back into the story. We see Fish and we see Cuckoo. I walk up, me and Jim and I walk up to them, and I'm talking to Fish, and I'm like, oh, hey girl, da da da, talking. Mind you, Fish, Fish, and like, it's funny enough, like, so that's why I was like, this whole situation is kind of crazy and confusing, but me, Fish, the girl that I was telling you that Cuckoo actually took the baby daddy from that girl. We're saying took very loosely because she did not take him. She just, you know, had a situation with him, had kids with him, but he very much still loved the other girl. The other girl that, you know, we're going on this trip with. So it was going to be that girl, Fish, me, and some of my other homegirls and all of them. Like, we were about to go to Dallas. I don't know how to explain that. So a couple of our friends lived in Dallas, and we were all going to Dallas to kick it or whatever with her, and that girl was one of the girls. So we're talking and everything. Obviously, me and Cuckoo are not talking because the beef is crazy. Like, it's been several times like we've almost gotten into a fight. Some of my friends actually have put hands on her, so it's just kind of like I'm paying her dust basically. And after the conversation's over, I walk off. The club is closing. We're leaving out the club, and you have to go downstairs to leave out. So I'm going down the stairs. I get outside. I turn around and I don't see Gemini. So I'm like, okay, maybe she just got caught on the stairs. She'll be out here. So I'm standing outside waiting for her. Next thing I know, I see a dude holding her, bringing her down the stairs, and like she's going off, and he brings her out there, and I walk up, and I'm like, oh my god, like, you know, like, what's wrong with you? And she's like, your friend Fish, da da da, this, that, and the third. Oh, she was disrespectful to me, and this and that. And I'm just kind of like, y'all know I gotta give y'all the it's like so many, it's like context that needs to be explained to understand certain stuff. So I'm not just rambling. I am rambling, but I'm not trying to ramble. It's just that you gotta understand the dynamics of certain stuff. So Fish, you know, me and Coco have our own beef. Fish has a certain thing, a beef or a situation going on with Gemini. I won't even say it's a beef between them. The beef is between a whole nother girl, but Gemini was a part of the situation in a way. So it's just like you're guilty by association. So it was a whole situation where this other girl that Gemini was cool with, or a group of girls Gemini was cool with, one of the girls' dudes, he was a dude that, like, you know, good looking guy, football team, everybody liked him, and he was trying to talk to Fish. So he was trying to talk to Fish. Him and Fish had a whole little situation. I'm not gonna be in people's business. I don't know if Fish ever just talked to this guy or if anything ever went on. I can't say, but I know that the situation was over this guy. And long story short, Fish was sleeping in the car after a club one night while her friends were in Waffle House. And Gemini, my homegirl, and those other girls that, you know, the situation with the dude is about, they try to jump Fish in her sleep, basically. Like, they antagonize her, try to jump her, try to whatever, and Fish got arrested that night. So as you would understand or could understand, she's pissed. She don't really mess with Gemini or those other girls, because it's like she got arrested that night and y'all started with her. So rightfully, she does not like my homegirl. And I don't know, I'm a fair person. I'm not one of the people that's gonna be like, I don't know how to put it. I was already friends with Fish. And I'm like, okay, Gemini, Fish really didn't do anything to you. Y'all try to jump her. Mind you, I'm not gonna say y'all. You were a part of trying to jump her, and it had nothing to even do with you. And this is all over a guy, and it's dumb. So I can't really fault her for feeling a way towards you. But y'all are both my friends, or y'all, I'm cool with both of y'all. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, y'all just don't speak. I'm not gonna talk bad about either one of y'all to either person, and we'll leave it at that. And then so I'm sitting there like, shoot, my friend Fish is sitting here with Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and they hang out, they're cool. And Cuckoo hates me. I'm sure she's talked about me. But anyway, so I'm telling fast forward, they have Gemini outside. She's telling me, oh, Fish was disrespectful, da 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 da. She didn't speak to me, and I'm just like, friend, I don't know why she would speak to you. If we're being real, if like we're being completely serious, why would she want to talk to you when y'all try to jump her and y'all got her arrested that night? Like, I don't know. So she got mad at me, and she's just like, oh, you're taking her side because she's your friend, and da 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 da. And I'm like, I'm not even really trying to take her side. It's just logic and reasoning. You know, logic and reasoning. That I'm one of those people. Make it make sense. It's not making sense to me. Why would you think the child would be cool? That's like me trying to talk to Coco, and then she doesn't talk to me, and I'm like, oh, get mad at Fish, like, oh, Coco, she doesn't like me, she's not talking to me, and da da da. Like, of course she's not talking to me. She hates me, and that's fine, and I don't care, you know. So all of that happens. We get back to Gemini's car, and I'm telling the dude that was carrying her out, he had walked us there. I don't know if he knew her or something. I don't know, like, even who he was. Didn't ask, didn't care. And so we are at Gemini's car and all of that, and I'm like telling him like, oh, thanks for walking us. I'm gonna drive. She's staying in my house. I'm gonna drive. It's cool. Da da da. Gemini's over there like, no. I'm gonna drive my car. Like, it's cool. I'm good. I'm gonna drive my car. Da da da. And I'm just looking at her like, you just don't want to argue with somebody. So I'm just looking at her like, she's like, I'm good to drive. Like, I'm not too drunk to drive. And I'm like, okay, boom. It's your car. I'm not even gonna fight with you that bad about you driving your own car. So we switch sides, and she gets in the car, and she's calling some dude. She calls some dude, and she's like talking. I'm not really listening. And then when she gets off, she's like, okay, so I'm gonna drive to, I don't know what to call this area. I'll just say that she's like, I'm gonna drive to this area that old boy's in, meet up with him, like get him, and then me and him would drive you back home. And I don't know if they were gonna kick it. I don't know if they were gonna go back to his place. It just wasn't making sense to me, because it was like, where we were at is like downtown. I live about maybe, I'll say 20-ish minutes one way, and the other way where she wanted to go is probably about like definitely 20-25, pushing 30 minutes. I'll say 20-25. Nah, definitely 20 to 30 minutes the opposite direction. So I'm looking like, if 1 + 1 is 2 and 2 + 2 is 4, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm looking like, girl, like, why? We're 15 minutes from my house. Why would we go 25 minutes to 30 minutes in the opposite direction to get your dude, whoever, whatever dude, and he rides with you all the way back to my house, and then you go do whatever it just wasn't making sense. But I didn't want to argue. Like, I don't know, when I don't want to argue, I'm just like, okay, girl, like, I don't know, I'm riding. And so she's like, okay, and we pull off, and we start heading towards the dude's house. So yeah, we start heading towards the dude's house. We get out there, and she's calling the dude, and he's not answering the phone. I'm like, oh, side eye, like, okay. Calling him again. It's ringing. He's not answering. It gets to a point where she's calling, and it just goes straight to voicemail. Like, it's not even ringing. And I'm like, okay. So then she drives out of the apartment complex, and she drives over to Walmart's, like right across the street from it. She drives over. She's in the Walmart parking lot. We're sitting there, sitting there for a long time. And she's calling. He's not answering. And I'm kind of just like, okay. At this point, I'm like, okay, girl, I'ma just get out the car. I know it sounded like this all happened so quickly, like, oh wow, like why did I want to get out the car so quick into the situation? But it was like this had dragged out, but I'm cutting it down to, like, you know, making it shorter. And so yeah, we're at the Walmart, and I'm basically just like, okay girl, well, I'm gonna get out the car and I'm gonna figure out a way home. Call Uber, do something. I'm gonna figure out a way home. Cause I don't know what it was about how she was acting that made me just feel like, I'm gonna get out the car, girl. Like, I cannot do this with you all night. And so she gets mad and she's like saying some stuff to me, talking stuff like, okay, get out the car then, like get out the car, And I'm like, oh, I will be. I go to open the car door, y'all, and she starts driving. I'm just looking like, okay, was I supposed to tuck and roll, jump out the car, like stop, driving, roll? That's fire. Was I supposed to tuck and roll and hop out the car? So then I shut the door and I'm like, okay, she's coming to her senses. We're gonna go home. She drives out the Walmart parking lot and she drives back into the apartment complex parking lot, and boom, calling. At this point, I'm like, he clearly got you on do not disturb, clearly after the club, clearly, you know, took another girl home. At this point, I have figured out that the dude that she is calling is the dude that she was dancing with in the club, that was looking like he didn't really want nothing to do with her, and was like, kind of like, okay, like, cool, dance for a second, but I don't really want anything to do with you, that I had to kind of get her away from because I didn't want her to embarrass herself. It's this dude. I figured that out, and now I'm even more like being played. Now I would say, shoot, I can't say we're being played because I'm in the car too. I'm on the dummy mission too. This is a dummy mission and I'm on it. It's a dummy mission and I'm on it. I'm on it with you. So yeah, she's calling him. I'm like, oh, it's on do not disturb type stuff. At this point, I'm like being more verbal about, like, I think he might have another girl he wanted to see after the club. Maybe he changed his mind and doesn't want to see you. I'm just trying to talk sense into her. And she gets mad at me and she's like talking shit, saying stuff to me. And she's like, I'll whoop your ass. And I was like, or I'll beat your ass. She said one of the two. And I'm just like, you're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to do that. Like, I was so calm, but I'm just like, girl, you gotta do that. That's some stuff that you'll just have to do. I don't know. I don't take too kindly to anybody saying that to me and then we're supposed to be friends. But I was still calm about it, but I'm just like, oh, okay, do that if that's what you feel like you need to do. And so she hops out the car and she's coming around and I'm just still sitting there for a second. And then I'm starting to like, I'm like, dang. I was like, maybe I should get out the car because, like, what I don't want is to be sitting in the car and she's really dead serious and I'm sitting down in the seat and she hits me across the head or something. So I open the door and I get out the car and she's like walking up to me. She walks up to me, she pushes me, and then she swings. And the swing did connect and hit me in the arm. It didn't hit me in the face or nothing, but it hit me in the arm. Damn near pushed me out my shoes, like my little shoes I had on. She pushed me and swung, hit me in the arm. Hit me good too, because the next day I had a bruise, like a good bruise on my arm, like mama's bruise. I was like, oh, she would have hit me in the face. Oh yeah. Mind you, we'll get to this the rest of the fight, but like, yeah, had a bruise. I was like, that would have connected. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm like, bro, don't push me. I'm still being calm because I'm like, this is my friend. I'm feeling like, okay, we're friends. This is my homegirl. I don't know what's going on with her. She's tripping, but I'm like, bro, don't put your hands on me. Like, dead serious. Don't touch me. And so she walks back around to the car and she gets in the driver's seat again. At this point, obviously, I'm not riding with you. I don't know how I'm getting home, but I'm not riding home with you. I'm not riding to my home, mind you, because you stay with me. I'm not riding to my home with you. So I get out the car and I'm gathering my stuff and everything. And as I'm getting out, I look at her and I'm just like, you're sorry as hell. Like, I tell her, like, bro, you're sorry as hell. Because that's sorry. Put your hands on your friends. It's sorry. I'm like, hey, sorry stuff. I don't too much mess with the putting your hands on your homegirls type of thing, especially over nothing. So or on some drunk shit, you know. And so she's like, I'm sorry. I'm looking at her like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And she's getting out the car when she's saying this, and she's coming back around to my side. Mind you, I'm already really out the car like that because I had gathered my stuff. I sit my stuff down, and she's walking up towards me. As soon as she gets close to me, y'all, I hit her. We start fighting, and we're fighting. We're like, at one point we're slamming into cars. Like, mind you, y'all, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, so like it's dead silent outside, and it's dead silent outside. And when I get to the point, like when I get so mad that I'll fight, there's no talking, I'm not saying nothing, just straight swinging. So I'm swinging. She's not saying nothing either. She's getting worked. It's called spade to spade. She's getting worked. I'm whooping her ass. So we're fighting. We're banging up against cars, bumping into stuff, all of that. And it's like dead silent outside until like at one point she started crying, and she's like crying because like I'm hitting her for real. I'm hitting her good, and I'm hitting her hard. And it's not because I wanted to just really like I was angry. I just wanted to hit her hard enough to where she would stop swinging at me. Like, you know, I wanted her to stop fighting me, and I didn't want her to hurt me. So mind you, she never really got a hit in. She never touched my face or nothing like that. And so yeah, but I'm hitting her really hard. At one point I had her down, and I had grabbed onto her hair, and I pulled her wig off. I threw the wig, kept hitting. And yeah, so it's dead silent except for her crying. And she's like, ooh, like crying, just crying. And I'm not crying. I'm blank face, just like, I don't even know. I'm not angry. I'm just so like this is crazy. And so we stop. She's crying. She goes and gets in her car, and she drives off, and she leaves me. I get home. I had to take a taxi home, y'all. I take a taxi home, and as I'm leaving, I see there's like a gas station that I see that's right there, and I see her car. She had a very particular car, and I know it's her car. So I see her car, and she's sitting there, and I'm thinking like, oh, she probably thinking about the fact that like she stays with me, so where is she gonna go if she can't come with me? And the kind of person I am, I probably still wouldn't even have left her out on the street, even though I just had to whoop her ass like that. I probably still wouldn't even have left her like that with nowhere to go. But I'm in the taxi, and at this point I'm riding. I'm like, I can't believe it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I just fought in an apartment complex parking lot with my friend. So I'm riding. I go home. Next couple days, I told you I was supposed to go to Dallas with Fish and all them. I still go to Dallas. I have the band-aids on my hands because I had got my nails done really nice. I had like a blue bandana prints like drawn on my nails, like artwork on my nails. Nails is messed up, knuckle was messed up. I feel like my knuckle is still messed up to this day, but my knuckle was busted, and you know, hand was hurting. I was a little sore. Fighting will tire you out. You will be so sore. So I'm sore and everything, and I go to Dallas. We all with Fish and all them. We all have a good time. I come back, and I go back to work, and some girls, some of my homegirls, cause like it's girls that we worked with back then. Like all of us really are still friends to this day. And so I get back to work, and like some girls I'm cool with is like, oh my gosh, Gemini told us what happened. She told us that you whooped her ass, like you beat her ass, da da da. And I'm like, dang, like she told y'all like that, like I whooped her? And they're like, oh yeah, she said that you won, da da. But I won't even say she said I won, but basically that's what you're implying if you saying I beat you up. So they're like, yeah, she's saying like you beat her up, da da da. I don't know why she would tell them that. I don't know. I really didn't have too much intention of telling our coworkers about anything like that. I feel like maybe she told them that because she wanted to just get ahead of it and like save herself the embarrassment. Maybe she thought I was gonna like come to work like, yeah, and then I ripped her wig off, threw it on the ground, stomped on it, you know, like I don't know if she thought I was gonna be on that type of time, but she told them. And yeah, she did end up apologizing to me and everything. She wrote me, apologized to me. I accepted the apology. I respected the fact that she was able to apologize, you know, regardless of the fact that you got beat up. Like, who gets beat up and apologizes for the part they played and them getting beat up? Like, takes a big person. So I accepted the apology. We're okay to this day. Like, we're cool. Like, it's no animosity. We're cool. It's whatever. we could never be friends again in that way, because I feel like you're gonna want your lick back, or you try to get your lick back. I don't know how the way my mind's set up. But yeah, so that is the story about how I ended up getting to this big fight with my friend. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe. I want to get back on YouTube and really get into things and really tell y'all all these crazy stories I have. I have so many stories, and yeah, just want to get them off my chest. So y'all have a good one.